Hey guys, welcome to LG Overdrive. This is Season 4, Episode 11. I'm the host, Kingsman42. With us today, we have AO24.
Hi guys. Hi friends.
Also with us, we have Lazy.
What's up, guys?
And last but not least, we have a very sleepy Mets fan, Dudley.
I hear you giggling over there, Do-Right. Take it easy.
What are you chirping at me for? Oh my gosh!
You giggling when I'm introduced. I don't appreciate it.
It's nice to be here. I'm glad I don't have any cake on me. I don't have any food on me, so I
The
apologize.
front of your hat is bigger than E-Rice's forehead.
Good. That means I have more brain space than he does. So.
Oh.
With those haikus, I wouldn't be surprised.
Eric, the new GM of Bakersfield.
GG.
I'm on the campaign. I'm down.
So, it's the first time we get to see AO this season. AO, introduce yourself a little bit. Let us know about you.
Hi. My name's AO. I'm also known as Austin by Dudley. Whoa, what? Dickhead.
AO is our favorite Poopy Snoopy degenerate.
Yeah. Dudley dragged me into this beautiful adventure this season.
You loved every second of it, didn't you, you whore? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. What would you like me to say? I can.
Tell us about season 29 with Dudley.
I don't know. I finished with almost as much in the score column as Dudley. Get the GG's nub. Yeah, I don't really know. He's pointing at his Mets hat. Like, from my vantage point, I can only see Dudley here, and he's like, I just spent an entire season with him, and now I have to look at him full podcast. Oh,
You know you love me, Austin. You know you love me.
On the bright side, you no longer have to learn a different language with Snoopy. So, please, you must be happy about that.
That wasn't so bad. I won't badmouth Snoopy. I've known him for a while, so is what it is. Season didn't go very well, and yeah, that's about it.
All right.
Feels good playing meaningless hockey in week 3. I'll tell you.
May I ask what language this was? Was it English? Was it French? Was it French mixed with English? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it had something to do with PIX, with a PIX.
Oh.
I'll share one fact with you about Bakersfield. Dudley used the phrase tabernacle more than the entire Ontario Reign organization.
One of the things that I used to like, not like, but that used to get on my nerves. Which this is not an indictment on Snoopy. That's just how he is. I have nothing personal against the guy. Let me just put it out there. But the one that used to bother me the most was he would write his thoughts out in like 10 different sentences when he could have just left it in one message. You know. So you would get like 10 notifications for just one train of thought instead of just.
Yes, I can attest to that too. Yes.
I kind of enjoy it. Break it up into small sections. It's easier to read.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to slowly move into the playoff talk now. I'm going to start with my segment for today.
Both of us on, and I will not slander Snoopy.
Yeah.
Part of good ethics.
Yeah, neither will I. Snoopy is an upstanding citizen.
Speaking of ethics, I still want to give a shout out to Z Blindsy, the one of the managers from Tucson. He sent me this book, The Big Book of Media Ethics. I still have it. It's about 400 pages. Still haven't read it. I do understand, though, Austin, that you do have a book that you wanted to present to him?
Yes, sir. I told you, or I think I told him in the forum, if he needs to borrow this book here, I would happily lend it to him. So
It's
make
the
sure to
media law for Canadian journalism.
Make sure to hit me up in the PMs if you still want it. I'm down. I don't need it anymore.
That only references Canadian journalism. Does this also affect American journalism? Do you know?
I mean, I don't. Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I don't know if it's American or Canadian, but I'm sure it's interchangeable.
Is that an ethically correct sentence?
I guess you have to read the book to find out.
All right.
Oh.
Oh. It's called a tease.
When it comes to everything is relative. The only difference between the American media and the Canadian media ethics is this is usually how American media ethics goes.
Oh no.
I don't know how to read, so I'm just gonna say what's on my mind. I'm probably offending a bunch of people in the South right now, but I don't care.
No kidding. The other thing you learn doing management with Dudley is he is the shittiest at impressions.
Yes.
I tell you what, let's knock.
You've
Not
offended
only
all the QC Southerners in our forum.
so basically 3/4 of the LG population.
No one like me. Greatest. Austin's arriving inside right now. I just see his face. He is just dying inside.
We're going to talk about this in a party later.
Of course we are. That's if I'm home in time.
I'm really hoping Lazy is just gonna randomly disappear from the call at some point because of this.
I'm gonna turn my mic off so Lazy can talk because I feel bad.
I'm right here. I don't really know what to talk about.
I know. I feel like I'm taking up a lot of words that can be said by other people.
All right, so we're gonna move on from this little bit of banter here. We're gonna move into my segment. I have this week's From the Point with Buck. So shouting out top defenseman, shitter defenseman. Not really at this point shitter defenseman because we're moving into the finals of the LG playoffs. But we're gonna just shout out. I'm gonna shout out 3 players today. So our top point getter, assist getter, goal scorers from Stockton. He played 1 game. XJ Lucas. He had 3 points. And then he also led in plus minus with a +3. And then I'm gonna shout out to a shitty defenseman. Chidel72 from Utica went 0-1-1 with 20 giveaways in those 2 games. As a defenseman, you shouldn't be having 20 giveaways in 2 games. It should be more like 20 takeaways, but that's just my opinion. And then my final shout out for this week is going to go to Neo Mop from Manitoba, who went 0-2 but had 15 takeaways. So he was a +7 in the takeaway giveaway ratio department. So shout out to you guys. And that's all I had this week from Point with Buck. I'm going to send it to Dudley for his weekly top 10.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now that I'm here, you don't have to see me in a pre-recorded segment, so you get the full package. Unfortunately, this full package has been denied by many women, so you're pretty much getting the whole thing.
Virgin!
Shut up. Grow a beard, please. That's
shaved it. Sorry, my playoff team's out. It's okay. I know you aspire for your teams to make the playoffs. That's why you continue growing it year-round.
Yeah. No, that's a very valid point, and I'm not going to argue with it because I'm ethical. Okay.
See what you did there.
So Austin right now is just, his brain is melting right now. I can see it. I can just see it.
I think he's referring to his book and trying to see if it's actually part of it.
Correct. Yes, because apparently in Canada they seem to do it a lot better than we do here in the United States. Anyways, so this week's top 10 list is top 10 things that went on in the semifinals. So these are potentially top 10 things that went on in the semifinals. This top 10 is so real. If it wasn't real, would I not be able to do this? Apparently I have nothing else better to do than to rip off an old Letterman segment. So here we go. Number 10, the Tucson Roadrunners were not in the semifinals. I repeat, Tucson Roadrunners were not in the semifinals. Number 9, double sweeps means 10% off of the sodium packets at Walmart for 1 week.
Huh.
Number 8, Brody placed cheat codes on Utica for them to lose as revenge for trading him away.
Curse of Bay.
Correct. Number 7, fourth line was caught attempting to break into any of his AHL's team's doors to play for them, was denied, and arrested by Border Patrol. Number 6, when in doubt, Utica, blame Eric E30.
Yeah.
Number 5, there aren't enough GGs to go around. Number 4, Manitoba can't dial 555 because it's an American zip code. Number 3, Zero Crash is a stand-up goalie. Zero Crash is a stand-up goalie, and the initials are STD. It explains a lot. I love Zero. He's going to hate me for this, though. Number 2, Faces entered the witness protection program a week too early. And the number 1 thing that happened in the semifinals. Even through all of this, Poopy Snoopy still somehow managed to lose a game.
Wait, what?
I said, even through all of this, Poopy Snoopy still somehow managed to lose a hockey game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see you come up with better, huh? Yeah. Dude. I have a lot of soda in me right now, so I'm a little... Yeah.
A little bit of. I think what you really, really need is a piece of cake and to eat it with your finger like last season. Yeah, let's not do that. All right, so going into playoffs now, you referred to the double sweeps. We're going to talk about the semifinals very briefly. We had Eastern Conference Finals, Providence, Utica, Western Conference Finals, Stockton, Manitoba. Both series ending a lot sooner than what probably everybody thought. Both series having the results that a lot of people didn't think was going to happen. So we'll talk about Providence and Utica. Shout out to our boy Mackie. What happened? So yeah, Providence swept Utica 4-0 sweep. I'm going to let Lazy talk about this series.
Oh, there, I'm here.
Knocking on Lazy's door. Hello.
I'm here. Yeah, the Utica Providence series was very interesting. I actually had Utica in 6, actually. Was not expecting Providence to sweep it, even though they had the more depth, per se, that everyone says. But yeah, interesting series. I think the games were really close overtime games, I think.
So they had 3 1-goal games, 1 2-0 game, and 2 of their 1-goal games went to double overtime.
Yeah, so what Buck said, they're really close games. Score-wise, yeah. So Providence swept Utica. Good to them. And now they have a challenge ahead of them in Stockton in the Calder Cup.
Austin, do you have anything on that series? Or any comments in general towards that?
Hey, genius, unmute your mic.
Chat, but there's nothing going on.
Working?
No.
Oh.
And
I can just do this. That works better.
yeah, that probably does work better.
There we are.
Yo.
I don't know. My mic cuts
All
out
right,
sometimes when I use it on my computer. Apologies. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, Utica's team is just built to play in the postseason. Obviously, they lost Brody, which was a huge piece of their team. But, I mean, Mackey builds his teams to go to the championship, so it's a little surprising that they didn't win a game in that series. But I think Providence, obviously, their record shows to themselves they've done well all season. So they aren't a team that was just going to lay down and die. They were going to make a series of it, and they made everyone sort of stand up and pay attention to them.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, I mean, you already said it, and one of you guys said that you had Utica in 6. I mean, most people probably wouldn't, other than Providence, probably wouldn't have given them a 4-0 sweep. I mean,
yeah, and
maybe 5, maybe 6. Nobody would have thought a sweep of Utica, though. It's pretty crazy.
And Lazy said it, Utica in 6, and he had to play Utica first round.
Yeah,
so that goes to show, right?
Yeah, they're a good team. We played them in club, and they live for it, and they're good at the sticks, and yeah,
they're a good team.
Deep, whatnot.
All right, we'll talk about the West now. Stockton sweeping Manitoba. I don't think anyone saw this coming.
No way.
So, looking at the games here, we had a 1-0 win, a 7-2 blowout, a 5-3 win, and a 4-1 win. The 7-2 blowout coming against the RG Breezy line. The 1-0 loss coming against the third line. It was a battle of third line, so that was actually quite shocking. That was only 1-0. And then Stockton's top line just dominated the Manitoba top line in Game 3. Thoughts on that series, guys?
Well, just to before I say something about the Western, I want to mention something about Providence and Utica real quick. I didn't think it was going to be this quick. I personally thought Utica was going to win it, like Austin said, that Utica builds their teams to win. Not having Brody was, gotta admit it, he's definitely gotten in the groove of things on a lot of teams, so he's definitely a solid player for them.
Didn't help Tucson.
Yeah, GG guys. No, I honestly did not think that Utica would get upset like that. I think, knowing Prowsey and Ambient and all those other guys, I know they're solid, but I didn't think it was going to be like that, where they were just going to sweep them. You know, that was very shocking. You know, it's not an indictment on anyone, to be honest, but it's just one of those things. It's hockey. You never know what can happen. And in regards to Stockton and Manitoba, I'll tell you this: Stockton is good, but right now what's going on is they're hot at the right time. So they somehow managed to spark some kind of fire within the team, because Manitoba is not a walk in the park. They made it to the semifinals. That's actually pretty good. But I think Stockton has some kind of momentum going on, you know, after beating Tucson, who, you know, to be fair, you know, as much as we like to rag on them, Tucson wasn't so bad, even though we did beat them twice this season. You know, they're not a walk in the park. So the fact that they're there, and the fact that they were able to just roll over Manitoba was something else. Not gonna lie, you know, it just, a lot of this threw me off. Really, who knew you were gonna get double sweeps? It's just weird. But hey, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, you know. So.
I know from talking to Zero Crash, who's a good buddy of mine, he was not able to play on Sunday, and his backup goalie wasn't able to play the entire series, so they had to use a temporary ECU for this series, who played the 1-0 loss and the 7-2 loss before Zero jumped in and didn't really get much help in the other two games. But not having your really good backup goalie for the first two games when your top line can't play doesn't help either.
No, not at all.
Lazy thoughts? Lazy, hello.
Oh, he didn't say me. It was just, I thought it was just an awkward moment of silence because I didn't hear anything.
So.
Oh yeah, the Stockton Manitoba series. No one was expecting that to be a sweep in favor of Stockton's part. I thought I had Manitoba in 5 actually. No offense, Stockton. Didn't really think you would beat Manitoba with the way they were playing, and like everyone else was saying, it was probably Manitoba's third line. Someone said that last week on the show. It was probably gonna be their third line that probably hurts them.
I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Austin.
I mean, just looking at the Moose's roster, I mean, they are a good team. They are, I'll just say it, they're not exactly the powerhouse that was last year, and obviously I was with Iowa last year. I had to play them first round, so I definitely know how good they truly are, fourth line teams. And I've also had to go up against RG and Lorenzo this year, so they're definitely a hell of a team. I cannot deny that. But I mean, you got Pogs on there, guy's an anchor. I love my Pogs. No, the team's good. They obviously had the two. Did Kevin Arctic finish as the 2 top scorers in the league? I forgot.
Yes, he did.
So, I mean, you're going to do pretty well when you got the 2 top scorers. Lorenzo and RG just have that chemistry from being together for all these seasons. And I think Pogs and Demon also had some pretty good chemistry from when they teamed up on Colorado and went throughout the season. So they had 3 good lines, but Stockton's been together, man. They have that chemistry and they play all the time. You talk about one of those teams that lives for it, man. They are playing 24/7 and they have that chemistry. So it doesn't exactly matter who has the better roster. If you know what your tendencies are, you're going to win. And their defense looks really good as well. So yeah, it's just not a shock because Stockton was in the same position last year. They didn't make it to the final, but they've been there, so it's not hard to see them make it.
Yeah. I just want to give a quick shout out to fourth line. So last season, obviously, he won the Calder. This season, he took NHL ownership. He almost won the Presidents in the NHL, so quick shout out to that. And he has a roster full of a lot of ex-AHLers from like last season.
Yeah.
He brought the AHLers up, and they're just dominating in the NHL. And now he's in the Stanley Cup Finals. So
good for him.
Oh my
it would be really cool for him to win a Calder, then instantly go up, and then win a Stanley. That'd be
Winnipeg versus Boston. Break out the towels. That's going to be a fucking sweaty one.
Games they lose this season. I'm looking at that right now.
If you look at the Boston series, though, in the playoffs, Boston has yet to lose in the playoffs. They're 12-0.
My gosh.
They've swept every series. So
I'll tell you this: Winnipeg's looking pretty good. They've only lost 19 games. I mean, damn.
Yeah.
Good job, Evan. Way to go.
Yeah.
What Evan was saying was that this season it was a lot harder for him when every single team plays the trap. Like if you look at his stats, I don't think he got more than 55 points all season. When last season he had 100 and some, like 120 almost.
He led the league in scoring last season, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's guys in the NHL who put up 95 plus, and then Evan goes up and then gets like 55. But like his team's still fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I think he had the lowest goals against in the entire league. His goalies and defense were absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's gonna be one interesting Boston Winnipeg series though.
also, I want to give a quick shout out to LGAHL PSN. Manitoba's going for their third straight Calder. So
Good job, guys I've never heard of.
go Moose go on that
Yeah.
side, I guess.
Yeah.
Going for
Yeah.
it's the same management team going for 3 straight. So.
Good. Good for them.
That'd be really cool. So, all right, moving into our finals now. We're going to talk about Providence, Stockton. Obviously, both coming off sweeps. Providence currently favoring a 12-3 record, as where Stockton is currently holding a 12-2 record going into this. I'm going to start with Austin here. Thoughts and then prediction.
Thoughts. I mean, I like Stockton in the series just because I played against them more. I don't have as much to say about Providence because I don't know if I was in a game against them this year. Again, they were one of the top teams in the East, so it's hard to count them out. But I mean, you just look at Stockton's roster, and they don't have Grandpa Puff anymore, do they?
Nope.
I mean, he was a big X factor last year in the playoffs when they made their run. So,
They got knocked out first round last year.
oh yeah, sorry. What during the season they had a lot of dominance, and during this season with Grandpa, he's one of the better goalies in the league. And yeah, you just go through the lineup, and they have that chemistry, and I mean, it's hard to pick against them, honestly. I think the West is stronger than the East. All due respect to all the GMs there. It's just Stockton had to go through our division, which was an absolute shit show. So you had to be.
And then Manitoba.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. What division? I'm sorry, I haven't checked.
Providence was in the division where the lowest team had 89 points, which was probably, in the end, the hardest division to play in because they had 89, 90, 91, 91, 95, 96, 98, and then like 110.
Stockton had the Western Pacific was pretty tough outside of
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it right now. Stockton has 108 points. Tucson right behind them with 104. They have Ontario with 103. San Jose rather with 100. San Diego with 99, and then San Antonio with 97, and then us. It's 7.
And then the 2 easy games of the week against Bakersfield and Texas.
Yeah. No, but even I'm not trying to puff us up here, but we didn't go down softly. We kept ourselves in a lot of games. So,
We
with
led the league in team spirit. Let's just leave it at that.
Correct. Yeah, the word of team spirit. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you're gonna be a good team in this league if you have to go up against Tucson, Ontario, San Jose, San Diego, even San Antonio. If you have to go up against all those teams every other week, I mean, you're gonna play top games, and you're a top team, so you're likely getting first lines every night.
100%.
So
that's where I also give a shout out to Providence because if you look at their division, like I said, you got Charlotte with 109, then Providence 96. WBS at 95, Lehigh with 93, Bridgeport with 92, Springfield and Hershey with 91, and then Hartford at 85. So you had 6 teams within 5 points for 3 playoff spots. That's crazy.
Just to think about something, now that I look at it, Providence seems like one of those teams, and correct me if I'm wrong, Providence, if you're watching this. Providence to me seems like one of those teams that maybe started off a little rocky, maybe lost a couple of games they should have won. But I think if Providence was going full force, I think they probably could have had enough more points than 96. And then maybe if they were going full bore, maybe they got all their ducks in a row at a certain point and they just kind of hit a stride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's their case because you play against them, they're actually pretty damn good. They are pretty.
It's a bunch of guys who've played together for such a long time, right?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at their week by week right now, and they started off really well. 7-2 week 1, and then just sort of kept the next 2 weeks. The most they lost was 4, and then the losses started near the end of the year, so they got a little.
Yeah, Ariazaki, their starting goalie, went on a bit of a slump in the last couple of weeks.
What I'm guessing is they had standings went up, teams saw them in the standings, and then they started getting more competition, and it's just
literally in that division.
way
I can tell you from this because I played for Springfield. It was at the point where you literally had to win if you wanted to play the playoffs, and like Springfield, we went 14-2-2 to end the season the last 2 weeks, and we still didn't make playoffs. Like you had to win every single game if you wanted to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
It goes to show like how tight the division was. You had
Just
no
like in
choice
the West
but to win
Pacific.
everything. Exactly.
Yeah, our division is just like I don't want to keep relating it to Bakersfield, but it's the easiest thing because I don't know situations. It's like after week 3, it's just kind of like you're playing meaningless hockey, and that's what it felt like with us because it was just like, well, shit, we're so far out of it, and these teams are so good. Like we weren't illusioned to the quality that was in our division. I've known Bryson for a long time. I've known Axie for a couple seasons now. Like those Leporshkin, those guys make hell of great teams. So
yeah, I was in the West last season. It was hectic.
Yeah, it's never an easy night in that division. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Prediction on this series there, Austin.
Oh, me first? Oh, that's tough.
Your thoughts. Now it's your prediction.
Stockton in, and I'm looking up to try and save time. Go 7. I'd like to see 7s. That'd be fun.
Okay. I'm going to go next here. I love Stockton. They've played together for a couple seasons now. I was on Stockton 27 with some of these guys. There's a lot of chemistry on that team. And again, Axie's a great GM, knows how to put teams together, knows how to do good in the playoffs, obviously. And like he's following a strategic role, even despite losing their starting goalie right at the end of the season. They picked up they called up PhD from the CHL, who is a veteran AHL goalie, knows exactly what he has to do to win. They have a decent backup. Sam Schwartz, he's okay, but he's not. But he's like AHL caliber. He'll have his games where he stands on his head, and he'll have his games where he's just meh. But like I have difficulty on picking who's going to win this because you look at Providence's roster. Like I played in the AHL since season 19 or 20, and like I've known Gumba and Ambient, Gatsuki and Deke for a long time. Drake, Jonah's won a Calder as a GM. Prowzy's played on top teams with Ambient and Pakmaka. Spruce Moose, Super Tom. Swiss is a super like veteran for the AHL. Like their team is built with a lot of guys who've played together for 5, 6, 7 seasons at some point for very extended periods of time. They're all really good. They have thumbs. They play just as much as Stockton does. They're very quiet chat box presence wise. And the guys that I don't know all that well because they're up and comers, they've only played a season or two. They're quiet and they're clearly feeding off the energy and the knowledge that these guys that have played together so long are feeding them. So, like, there's a huge learning experience in Providence, and it's showing because they're dominating teams. When you look at series and be like, I don't know, because Providence didn't do that well in the regular season, but they're built for playoffs. So,
yeah.
I've done it every single series so far. I've said Stockton in 7. I said Stockton 7 against San Jose. Then whoever they played there, Ontario, San Jose, but then Tucson, and then they played against Manitoba. I said 7 every time, so I'm gonna stick with my routine. Say 5, 5, 5, and 7.
Yeah, this series is gonna be a bit interesting. With 2 good teams. I mean, they're both really good. I don't know point-wise in their standings. But I know Stockton had more points and stuff. Providence, their goaltending's amazing with Arasaki and, who's their other goalie? I don't remember. But yeah, I'm going to have to say Providence in 7. I'm going Providence.
All right, Dudley.
I like both teams. I know I have a couple of good buddies on those teams. Well, one of the teams, really. But I like both Providence and Stockton. very likable. Well, not to some, at least Stockton, but I like a lot of people on Stockton personally. I have nothing against them. They're all good players. It was always cool with them. Axie's a good guy. Even that Euro X Haffer line, everybody hates them. I like them. I have nothing against them. They're good people. But this is a tough one, not because I like anyone on the team. It's just because I think at this point, both these teams are hot at the right time. And I think it could either go one or two ways. Just like the semifinals. It could either be a long, tough series, or it could be a straight sweep, and this is done by the middle of next week. I'm going to have to say Stockton in 7. To me, it seems like they have a little bit more of a push in the scoring-wise in terms of their forwards. I will not be adverse to a Providence win. I will not be surprised by a Providence win. But if you want to ask me which team's going to win with a gun to my head, please, no ideas. I would say Stockton for the sole purpose. I think they just have a little bit more of an edge scoring-wise. So Stockton in 7, but I think it'll be a good series. I think both teams will take it to the edge, and I think it'll be a good, fun series for us to take a look back on.
Lazy's going to have to go like Providence 3 in order for this not to be like
not be a circle jerk.
one-sided.
Yeah.
So Austin had Stockton in 7?
Yeah, but I would honestly like to see Providence prove me wrong. So
Same here.
Lacy had Providence in 7, I think he said.
Yeah.
I had Stockton in 7, so we all have it going in 7. Which is nice.
Or
Because
7, it's a complete toss-up. I mean,
Yeah.
once you get to 7.
Yeah.
I think it's gotten to the point where a lot of the teams that we don't like are all gone. And it's two really good teams playing against each other. And it could, like, as Dudley said very well, it could be short series like the semifinals that we were expecting to go long, or it could go 7 games. But I think regardless of the winner, we'll be happy because it's not like a team like Tucson.
Yeah. Anyone but Tucson. ABT. Hashtag ABT.
Yeah, no, I think Dudley said it best. And so does Austin. Media law for media ethics.
Ethics.
Ethics. Yeah, I think it was said very well that we'll be happy regardless of the result.
Yes, sir.
Just
Yep.
now we're going into we'll have next week's show just to congratulate the winners really and just discuss it briefly, obviously, so it's gonna be a very short show next week. But before we do head off, do we have any events this week coming from Lazy?
I would like to shout out Providence and Stockton. Good luck in the Calder Cup finals. Yeah, Stockton and Providence.
Okay.
Good luck in the finals.
Dudley.
I actually, this is probably going to be a week too early, but I may not be here next week, so I want to give a shout out to the media guys. Bryson and the rest of us, all of us here, you, Buck, even Notorious, Dunks, Down Syndrome Dave, barely.
Garrus.
Yeah, and Garrus, sure. And everyone else who's participated in some kind of media thing or whatever.
Tino.
Yeah. Oh, Tino. Oh, you can't forget Tino. I love Tino.
Yeah.
That dude kills me every single time. And he made the intro for the show. If you didn't know, he made the intro for the show. It's fantastic. He really helped bring this the intro into the show to life. But I just want to say that, I think the emphasis was put on media to kind of try to give LG some kind of spice, whether you like it or not. And even if you do like it or you don't like it, that means we're doing our job right. We're doing this for free. For goodness sake, I'm here at my job right now doing this. Hashtag no life. Okay.
Dudley mentioned that no less than 5 times before we started recording as well. So
yeah,
he really wants to get a point across that he's working here.
Well, Austin, did I ask you? No, but I just it's fun seeing media come back up again, because I remember there's a couple of times back in the day, even in the old school VHL days and even early LG, there wasn't any media and everyone used to complain, "Where's the media? Where's the media?" Well, guess what? You got it now. You got to see my ugly face. So and Buck,
I was gonna say it could be worse. You could be seeing my face.
Yeah. But
We
no,
got rid of fourth line at least.
yeah, no, and everyone that's helped us out in the past, even Faces, Evan, fourth line, Notorious, who is good to see he's doing well. You, Lazy, even Austin, all those other guys, anyone that's helped
Risto.
contribute. Thank you guys.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, sure. And it's been fun, really. And I really hope that we get to do this in some form next season. And, just thank you guys. And, just good job having a kick-ass season, boys, all around. This has actually been one of the more fun seasons, even though my team didn't make the playoffs. But I actually did have a lot of fun. So thank you guys.
Yes, we'll touch on that. So we had quite a bit of review this season. So at the beginning of the season, we had LG NHL Weekly News with Bryce Ann. We had the Kakas with Tino. We have Ring Talk. We have Overdrive. We have Expose These Hoes with Darcy, which I think was absolutely brilliant. And then he had his Vesna thread, which was absolutely outstanding work.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the guys who post the little threads or the predictions, so like Mackie, Sauce and Bucks, like the guys who Fox, Cav, who did power rankings for a bit. Just the amount of media that happened this season was outstanding.
And might I interject real quick before we go on? We had a point where we had kind of a low point in media where we had that whole roast. Who I have no idea. Was that your idea, Buck?
Nope, Darcy's.
Okay.
I just hosted it.
Okay, so this adds to my point. That was kind of a low point, and I remember we were still doing AHL late night. I was still trying to figure out how to get all this set up at one
Season
point.
25.
We stopped, and what ended up happening was that was kind of a low point. So to see not only to see the media come back up, but also to see Darcy actually, not gonna lie to you, to see Darcy actually become halfway decent at this was actually nice. And it seems like he's not as much of a dick anymore, or maybe that was just a character he kind of shed. But either way, drunk, sober, he's done a very good job, and the media's just done fantastic. So.
100%. All right, Austin.
Are we doing shoutouts?
Yeah.
Shout out Snoopy, shout out Sayravi, shout out Dudley. I'll just reiterate what you guys have been saying. It's one of the reasons I came back down to the AHL, because I've been in the NHL. Other than the gameplay and everybody living for it, it's not a whole ton of fun. If you don't live for it like everyone else does, so you come back down here and you see the people that put in the work in the shows. Like Dudley, I was a VHL guy, and they didn't do any media apart from what this dickhead did that's on my screen in front of me with Darth Forsberg.
I'm surprised you still remember that.
Hard to forget, Dudley.
I'm drawing a blank on everything, but obviously what everyone's already said. Bryson and his crew do a bunch of good work. Dunks and Garris, you cutie Sean, good job. I didn't follow Darcy's stuff as much. I'm sorry, I'm not exactly the biggest forum guy, so excuse me for not following as closely as most people, but I definitely appreciate what you guys do. So it doesn't go unnoticed. Is what I would like to just get across. Everyone appreciates it, because otherwise it would just be us playing in a league that doesn't really have a lot of personality to it.
Very appreciated for the media this season. But...
And quick note on all the media. Aerators say best, if you aren't pissing someone off, you're not doing your job as media. And as you can tell from a lot of Overdrive threads, there's always like 60, 70 replies. So we're doing something right, because people get really salty real quick.
If anybody wants to tell me what a shitty job I'm doing in the forums, let me know so that I can get more involved in the forums.
Well, it's May and you still have a Christmas tree up. So that's what you're doing wrong right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I'm back around here around Christmas, when was it season 31? I guess it would be.
Yes.
I'll light that bitch up and we'll do shows. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, guys. So without further ado, thanks for guys coming on. We'll see you guys if you guys come on next week for our finals presentation and championship presentation, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
See ya.